red.
So the first step we're going to do is we're going to mix the brown. If you have brown, you can use that one and you don't have to mix it. But most of us don't have brown, so we'll mix it to do the stem and the trunk of the tree. So I have white, yellow, red, and blue. And I'll add black just in case I need it.
每一個顏色都拎一啲出嚟啊！阿梁太
哇
，5個顏色，一點就得㗎啦。
So I'm gonna grab my brush. So if you have a brown color, just use the brown, don't mix anything. But if you don't, we'll mix first red and yellow.
okay.
Red and yellow, that gives me orange. And I'll add a little bit of blue to the side. Start mixing it. Well, you can see I have brown. So again, I mixed yellow. It's better to mix a bit more than what you think you're gonna need. So you don't have to keep mixing back and forth this time. So after I have my orange, I add the blue to the side first. Just touch the side to make sure you add little by little. If your paint looks green, it needs more red. I have a brownish color. And I want to make it a little bit darker. So I'm going to add a little bit of black. You see how much I'm picking up on the brush? Just a little bit. To make it darker. I'm adding more red because it looks very green. And brown, sorry, black to make it dark.
See, yeah.
So if you have your brown ready to go, we are going to draw stems. So the idea is that you have a tree very close to you that you cannot really see the trunk really, but you can see the branches. So first, we're gonna start drawing the branches from the side. I'll show you in just 1 second. Make sure you have enough paint on your brush. And it looks brown, but it's too light for my liking. I'm gonna add a little bit more black. If yours is dark enough and you're happy, that's fine too. There we go. So I'm making the big branches first. I'm gonna add more in a bit, but because my brush is very big, I need to change brushes. And I'm also going to add the trunks here. Just a little indication at the bottom that we have trees over there. I'm going to change to a round brush and much smaller. And I'll just keep doing my branches. So in order to make it look nice for this case, make sure you don't put too many, just a few here and there. So we have our main branches. And then you can add smaller ones wherever you would like, going left to right. And they can go over each other. And they're never straight lines. And now I'm gonna try to draw even thinner lines. So less pressure on my brush. You see I'm barely touching the canvas. If your tree looks too stiff, maybe your lines are too straight. So grab your brush farther back, not here like the pencil, because that puts a lot of pressure, farther back. And it's okay if your hand is shaking. You see this line here is not straight. My hand shakes a bit sometimes, and that's okay. It gives it a nice effect. You see how over here I'm already doing very, very thin lines. Don't do any harsh lines here because now we're too far from the main trunk. And I'm also going to do a few here at the bottom. Just going to my main trunk. I think I'm happy with my my branches. Perfect. Wash your brush. If you're happy with your brush and we're just waiting for it to dry, if you're done, you can get your pink ready. If you have a basic pink color, use that. If you need to mix the pink, we'll use red and white, gives you pink. The more red you add, the darker the pink is. So you did this by mixing red and white. So if you need to mix it, you can do that now. I think I'm gonna use just this one. I'm just gonna close my curtains, my blinds. Just gonna focus on the tree above first. So have your pink, and we're also gonna use our Q-tips now. So you don't have to put a piece of tape, but it just helps me to hold them together. You can tie an elastic or even just hold them like that, and that's fine. So we have about 5, but you can use however many you have. 3 to 5 will be good, or even more if you want more. So again, I'm just gonna repeat. You can mix the pink, red, and white, or you can get the bottle if you already have one. Any kind of pink shade that you get is fine. Make sure it's not too light, because as we go on, we're gonna make it lighter and lighter.
Bugsy. Bugsy. Here. Here.
If you do not have Q-tips, that's fine. What we can do is use just a round brush. We'll do the same. We're just basically just tapping, okay? Tap and let go. If you have Q-tips, we'll just use them like that, tap and go. So make sure they're all touching the same, at the same level. So they're flushed. If you're using Q-tips, remember once we start to rotate, so every time you get a different shape. So I'm gonna get started. So I have my pink. I grab paint with my Q-tips. See? And then I'm just gonna tap and let go. Some parts will have more paint than others, that's fine. I like to give that effect when I have less paint, like now. So when you have more paint, let's start maybe in the middle. Once you start getting less and less paint, go farther out. If you're using the brush, same thing. We'll just tap, tap. Pretty much anywhere close to the trees, to the branches. Tap and go, don't drag. Don't drag the brush. I reload my Q-tips with paint. Try to go along the branches first. You won't do too many because usually this tree is doesn't have too much stuff going on. You can really see the branches. So maybe we can put a few more to my left. So this side maybe has a bit more flowers. Try to go put them over where you painted the branches. And now I'm gonna do the bottom ones on the top only for now. Remember, rotate your brush or your Q-tips so you have a different print each time. And when you're doing the trees at the bottom, we're doing the bottom. So I start in the middle. So where the kind of the branches start over here to put, when when I have a lot of paint, just to put lots of paint there. And as I run out of paint, I go to the top to put less paint there. Once you're happy with how this looks, we're gonna make our pink a little bit lighter. So we'll add a little bit of light, of white, sorry. So the key to this painting is just a little bit. Remember on our other trees where we put lots of leaves? You don't have to, because we want to see the background that we did last time, right? So now let's add, you can use the brush. Let's add white to my pink. So remember, I grab it, put it on the side, clean my brush on the palette like this, and then I start adding just a little bit, because sometimes we add too much right away and then it's hard to go back down to my previous tone. So you want to make sure you see a difference, not too much, but you see that, I don't know if the camera is able to pick it up, but my pink is lighter. And I think I might need to mix more because didn't mix too much, but you get the idea. And I go over where I already did my first dots. If my Q-tips are, I just have a different kind of Q-tip, they're pointy and I don't really like it. So I'm just gonna use the other side. So make sure you mix enough paint on your palette for your Q-tip, so you're able to pick the paint with your Q-tip. Just putting what I have on my brush on my Q-tips. So my lighter pink, just grab the paint. And again, start on the left. Rotate. Go farther out once you have less paint. So again, on the left side, lots. As I'm running out of paint, I go out to the mountain. Try to paint where you already painted. Okay. And now the bottom. Again, I'm painting where I already painted my first layer of paints. And I think we can paint a little bit of the ground here because it looks like my trees are floating. So I'll just add a few dots over here. Sometimes the flowers fall from the tree. And you can just indicate that. And my lighter pink. Remember, it's better to put less than more. So once you're cover the area, again, we add more white. So this is my white. This is the pink I was using. So now I can add quite a bit of white. Much lighter now. And I take my Q-tips. And just start with lots of paint on the left. And at the bottom, and now I'm going to do only the top of my trees because the light is only at the top of the trees. And at the bottom, I will do just a little bit on the ground. I think I'm happy with my lighter color. I might just add a few more, but I'm just gonna use my my brush to add just a few here and there. Just where I think we could put a few more, maybe farther out from the branches. And now I'm using lots of white, almost just white. I'm only using the brush because I wanna maintain what I already painted. I don't want to cover everything again. And just follow the branches out here. And the last thing we're going to do, we're gonna add a little bit more color to these green bushes because they're very dark right now. So if you have green, you can use the green and add a little bit of yellow to make it lighter. I'm gonna use blue and yellow to mix it from scratch. Okay. I think I'm gonna still use a round brush. Just gonna clean it up. I usually clean the brush first with my towel and then put it in the water. So my water is cleaner for longer. So we're gonna mix a light green. So I have blue and yellow. If you have the green, use just the green. So always check, look at your color and see what does it look like. It looks too blue. So I add more yellow. And I want a lighter green this time, so I'm adding a lot of yellow. I like to test the colors. It looks light enough, but the shade I'm not too happy about, so I'm gonna add a little bit of red. You see how much red I add? Just a little bit on the side, and then mix just a little bit. Good. And I'm gonna add a little bit of white. So it's lighter. And I want it to be more yellow-green. So I add a lot of yellow. If you have the green bottle, it saves you time. So I like this green. If you have the green, I'm gonna show you how it looks like. So it's a little bit darker. So this is the one I mixed. This is the bottle one. So if you were using the bottle, just add more yellow. You have a nice green too. So you can use any brush. Remember last time that for those of you who have the fan brush, you can use this one again, if you have it. If not, we'll just use the round or whatever you have. It's fine. I'm just gonna touch and let go, touch and let go. Touch the canvas, but I imagine there's a tree down here or a bush down here. And I imagine there are trees back here. So I'm going to just do the top layer of the trees I'm imagining. Just the top. So I imagine there's a tree there. Maybe there's another one over here. If you're using this fan brush, I just get the paint on the tips and I do the same. Just touch. It's a lot faster and it gives us a nice effect. So I'm just going to review what I just did. If you have your own green, take the green and add yellow. If you have to mix it from scratch, it's blue and yellow. Lots of yellow. You can add a little bit of red and to make it more earthy and more of an earthy tone, and a little bit of white to make it lighter. But if you get lots of yellow, you'll get a nice shade. Now I want to add more yellow. And I had a little bit of white there, so I'll take it. More yellow. And now I'm gonna go the very top part. Just the very top. Of my trees. You see how there's even pure yellow in my brush? Didn't mix it too much, but it's okay. It gives it a nice effect. And that's it. That's our painting. So wait for you to finish. And then after you're done, we can sign and date it.
you keep breathing on your fingers. Where?
Tuvana,
Yes.
I think this is the best project so far.
Oh, thank you, May.
It is so stunning. It is so beautiful.
Thank you. It was
So
a lot of
pretty.
fun using the Q-tips too.
Yeah.
So to sign, I usually pick any color I used. It depends on the painting. Sometimes I want my signature to show a lot. Sometimes I want to hide it a bit more. I'm just gonna use pink because we used a lot of pink. And I'm just gonna write my name. You can sign anywhere. I'll just sign here at the bottom.